Good morning, dear students. Once again, we are going to continue with coordination compounds. Today is our lecture 32, video number 3 of this chapter, that is coordination compounds. Last class, we have discussed about the IUPAC nomenclature, formulation of coordination compounds, and we have done so many examples. I asked you to complete the NCERT in-text and exercise questions. I hope everybody has done it. So let's begin with isomerism in coordination compounds. Okay. So after formulation and nomenclature, we are going to start with the next topic, that is isomerism in coordination compounds. So as you all know, compounds having same molecular formula but different structural formula are known as isomers, and this phenomenon is isomerism. And as usual, just like organic compounds, here also two types of isomerism: structural and stereoisomerism. Okay, three-dimensional. Structural isomerism, stereoisomerism. In structural isomerism, we are going to discuss about ionization isomers, hydration isomers, which is also known as solvation isomerism. Third one is linkage isomerism, and one more, that is coordination isomerism. Okay, these four types are for structural isomerism: ionization, hydration or solvation, linkage and coordination, right? And stereoisomerism, geometrical, which is also known as cis-trans isomerism, and the second one is optical isomerism. Okay, so these are the types, or this is the classification of isomerism in coordination compounds, diagrammatic representation. Now we are going to start one by one these isomers along with their examples. Okay, so first of all, I would start with ionization isomers. Okay, ionization isomers. As the name itself suggests, that compounds having same molecular formula but the extent of ionization is different. Such type of isomers are known as ionization isomers. Let's see the examples. Suppose Cr, NH3, whole 5, Br, SO4. Okay? And Cr, NH3, whole 5, SO4, Br. Now you can see, my dear children, in both the cases central atom is chromium, 5 ligands ammonia, 1 bromide, 1 bromide, 1 sulfate, 1 sulfate. But you can see here counter ion is sulfate ion, whereas in this case counter ion is bromide ion. So if you dissolve this complex compound in an aqueous solution, what is going to happen? Cr, NH3 whole 5, Br plus SO4 2 minus. So here the charge would be 2 plus. And when this compound is ionized, this will give, since bromide ion is outside here, and bromide, its valency is 1 minus 1, so here the charge will be plus 1. So in both the cases, overall molecular formula remains same, But what's the difference? In this case, sulfate ion is the counter ion which is going to be ionized, and sulfate ion can easily be analyzed qualitatively in laboratory. So when you add barium chloride to this sulfate ion, we will get a white precipitate of BaSO4. But can sulfate ion be precipitated in this case? Absolutely not. Why? Because this is present inside the sphere, coordination sphere, which is non-ionizable. But bromide ion can easily be precipitated with silver nitrate, and it will give a pale yellow precipitate of AgBr, whereas in this case bromide ion can never be precipitated under any circumstances. And such type of isomers are known as ionization isomers. Okay. Now the second is hydration isomers, and the name itself suggests hydration. That means it is associated with water, and since water is used as a solvent, so therefore this isomerism also known as solvation isomers, right? So hydration or solvation isomerism. Let's see the example. Suppose Cr H2O whole 6 Cl3. Hexa aqua chromium 3 chloride. Okay. Now in this case you can see that 6 molecules of water, they are associated with chromium, and they are nothing but they are the ligands, and all the 3 chloride ions which are outside the bracket can easily be precipitated out. Now how many isomers we are going to get from this particular compound? Let's see, I am writing few. Cr H2O whole 5, 1 chlorine is inside the bracket, Cl2. Now you can see overall molecular formula is same. 2 chlorine plus 1, overall 3, and here 5 water, and I am writing here 1 water outside. Coordination number also remains same, that is 6. If I write Cr H2O whole 4 Cl2, then Cl dot 2H2O. Okay. Now all of you can see that the overall formula in all the 3 cases remains same. The number of water molecules 6 and number of chloride ions are 3. But what's the difference in all the 3 compounds? Here all the 3 chloride ions can be precipitated with silver nitrate, AgCl, Kurdi white precipitate, but none of the water molecules can be dehydrated, even if you are going to use a very strong dehydrating agent like concentrated sulfuric acid, phosphorus pentoxide, and so on. But in the second case you can see, can this chloride ion be precipitated? It will not. Why? Because this is inside the bracket which remains or which is stable over here. So therefore only 2 chloride ions can be precipitated, and definitely this water molecule can easily be dehydrated. It would be lost when we are going to heat it in presence of a dehydrating agent. And similarly in the third case, these 2 chloride ions, they cannot be precipitated out, whereas 1 chloride ion is precipitated, whereas 2 water molecules can be dehydrated. And such type of isomers, they are known as hydration isomers and also known as solvation isomerism. Okay. Now moving on to the next, amongst structural isomerism, the third one is linkage isomerism. Okay. And for linkage isomerism, my dear students, these ligands, they must be ambident in nature. And I hope everybody remembers that what do we mean actually by ambident ligands. So those ligands which can have either of the atoms as an attacking site. So only the mode of attachment is going to be different during linkage isomerism. And ambident ligands, just a reminder for all of you, I had given many examples while discussing the classification of ligands. So as I said, that in linkage isomerism, mode of attachment is going to be different. And here ambident ligands, they are basically used like cyanide, isocyanide, sulfocyanate, isothiocyanate, nitrito N, nitrito O, and so on. So let's see the example. Like suppose Cr, CN6 and Cr, NC6. So you can see that the overall formula remains same. Similarly, if it is Pt NO2 whole twice, and similarly Pt ONO whole twice. So this would be nitrito N, whereas this is going to be nitrito O. Some more examples you can see. Cr SCN whole thrice and Cr NCS whole thrice. So such type of isomers, they are known as linkage isomers, as they have overall molecular formula same, but the mode of attachment is different. And one more is, that is coordination isomerism. Okay, so for coordination isomerism to exist, my dear children, here two coordination spheres are must. Let's see the example. Suppose Cr Cn whole 6 and Co NH3 whole 6. Okay, but if I am going to write the isomers of these compounds, then Cr NH3 whole 6 and CO CN6. Now you can see that what is going to happen, or what has happened actually. So 6 cyanide, 6 cyanide, 6 ammonia, and chromium and cobalt, they are the central atom. So what has happened? Exchange of ligands. So here cyanide was attached with chromium, now cyanide is attached with cobalt. In this case, ammonia is attached with cobalt, now ammonia is attached with chromium. But the overall formula remains same, and such type of isomerism is known as coordination isomerism. So structural isomerism, 4 types: ionization, hydration, linkage, and coordination isomerism. And now we are going to start with stereoisomerism. Okay, 3-dimensional isomerism. And in stereoisomerism, as I said at the beginning itself, that it is of 2 types. One is geometrical isomerism, which is also known as cis-trans isomerism, and the second one is optical isomerism, and which is also known as enantiomerism. Okay, so geometrical isomerism, we have to study for the coordination number 4 as well as coordination number 6. So far as coordination number 2 is concerned, the shape or geometry would be linear. And when coordination number is 2, geometry is linear, can cis-trans isomerism is possible? It is not. When coordination number is 3, geometry would be planar, lying at an angle of 120 degree. Here it is 180 degree. Here also it is not possible. But when coordination number is 4, then 2 types of hybridization. One is sp3. In that case, the geometry will be tetrahedral, lying at an angle of 109 degree, 28 minutes. And when it is dsp2, then the geometry will be square planar. Okay, so when tetrahedral geometry is there, this L stands for ligands and M stands for the central metal atom. So when coordination number is 4, hybridization is sp3 and the geometry is tetrahedral, then what happens, this is a three-dimensional figure. You can see these two ligands, one is above the plane, another below the plane, and these two ligands, they are also in this way they are attached, so that what happens, that all these positions, they are adjacent to each other, and therefore in this case there is no possibility of cis-trans isomerism. Whereas if it is dsp2 and square planar, now 1, 2, 3, 4. Position 1, 3 and position 2, 4. You can see diagonal opposite to each other. So this would be trans to each other, whereas rest all positions 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, they would be cis to each other. Now let's begin with the examples. This is PT, NH3 whole twice and Cl2. Okay. So diamine dichlorido platinum 2 and so you can see here that both these ammonia, they are adjacent to each other, lying on the same side. Both this chlorine, they are also on the same side. So this is cis isomer, whereas in this case both ammonia, they are attached diagonally with each other. Both chlorine, they are also diagonal to each other. So this is trans isomer. Okay. And one more important thing I would like to share here, my dear students, that this isomerism, cis isomer of this particular compound, that is diamine dichlorido platinum 2, is cisplatin, cis isomer, and which is used for the chemotherapy of cancer. So one of the most important biological importances of coordination compounds, that is cisplatin. It is used for the medicinal purposes, and that too for the treatment of cancer. Now this comes under Ma2B2. That means two different type of ligands and both are 2 in number each. Okay, but we can also have Ma2BC. Let's see the example. Suppose platinum is there and here water, here also water, but one side chlorine, another side bromine. Since both water, they are lying on the same side and both chlorine and bromine on the same side, so this is going to be cis. But if both water opposite side, one chlorine here and one chlorine here, then that is going to be trans isomer. Okay, and if all the ligands are of same type, Ma4, suppose PTNH3 whole 4, PTCl4, NiCl4 2 minus. In that case, if all the ligands are of same type, will there be possibility of cis-trans? It is not. Okay, and this cis-trans isomerism is possible for the bridging ligands also. Let's see an example. Suppose PT, here Cl, Br, these two are the bridging ligands, and here pyridine, ammonia. Let's see. Why they are called bridging ligands? Because they act as a bridge between two central atoms. And look here, this pyridine and this pyridine, since they both, if we consider them to be in a plane, then both these pyridine, they lie above the plane and both these ammonia, they lie below the plane. So such type of isomers will be cis. But if one pyridine is above the plane, one pyridine below the plane, that is diagonal, one ammonia below the plane, one ammonia above the plane, that is diagonal, trans. So that would be the trans isomerism. Okay. So this is about the cis-trans isomerism. Provided the coordination number is 4, you should learn and remember that it is possible only in square planar complexes when the coordination number is 4. In tetrahedral geometry, it is not possible. Now, cis-trans isomerism when the coordination number is 6. The advantage of coordination number 6 is that whether it has D2sp3 or sp3d2, but in both the cases the geometry is octahedral or square bipyramidal. Okay, so as you all know, the geometry is square bipyramidal. Suppose this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can take a matchbox and one matchstick above the plane, one below the plane. You can adjust it in that way, and these 4, they are pointing towards the diagonal of the square. So in this case, position 1, 2, position 2, 3, position 3, 4, 4, 6, then 4, 5, 5, 1, they all are adjacent to each other. So they are cis with respect to each. And position 2 and 4, this diagonal. Position 3 and 5, and position 1, 6. One above the plane, another below the plane. So this is trans with respect to each other. This is to be learned and remembered, my dear students. Okay, now let's begin with the examples. Okay. Very clearly you can see here okay. Now you see in this case, one chlorine above the plane, one chlorine below the plane, and ammonia, they are diagonal to each other. So this is trans and this would be cis. Both the chlorine same side, all ammonia, they are also adjacent to each other, and such type of isomers, they are known as cis-trans provided the coordination number is 6, square bipyramidal. Now in this case, suppose the formula of the compound is Ma3B3. That means two different type of ligands and both are 3 in numbers in each case. In such a case, you see that before they were also named as cis-trans isomerism, but according to the latest recommendation of IUPAC system, they are named in a different way. And I am giving you one example. Let the metal is rhodium RH. Okay. Cl, 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 and here Py, Py, and Py. 3 pyridine and 3 chlorine. Okay, and both these ligands, they are adjusted in such a way that these 3 chlorine ligands, they are lying or they are present in one triangular plane, and the another ligand is present at this side, and this isomer is known as facial isomer and it is abbreviated as face isomer. And if I am going to adjust it in this way, so that it is passing through the meridian, this one is known as MER. Actually it is coming from meridional. Okay, So draw the face and mer isomers of so and so compound. That's very important, my dear students. So in facial isomer, what happens? That one of the ligands, this lies along one side in a triangular plane and the another ligand towards this side. And in this case, it is passing through the meridian. So it is known as meridional isomer. Okay? And when the coordination number is 6 only, but the ligand is bidentate. Suppose Cr En whole twice Cl2. As you all know, ethylene diamine, it's a bidentate ligand. So 2 into 2, 4 plus 2, 6. Coordination number will be 6. Let's see what happens in this case. How do we assign cis and trans isomerism? Okay. So you can see that both these chlorine, they lie on the same side, and ethane 1,2-diamine, it has got two types of mode of attachment from both the side, and so that this shape is square bipyramidal. So since they lie on the same side, this would be cis isomer, whereas you can see very clearly one above the plane, another below the plane, and both these ethane 1,2-diamine, they are opposite to each other, they are trans to each other, so therefore this is trans isomerism. Okay, and now we are left with optical isomerism. Okay, and before I give the example of optical isomerism, I would like to tell you and remind you once again, my dear students, while studying organic chemistry, the basic concepts of organic chemistry in class 11, we have discussed about it, that this is an ordinary light which can vibrate in all plane. When this ordinary light is passed through a Nicol prism. Nicol prism, it is a type of prism which is made up of calcite, Calcite. Calcite is a special crystalline form of calcium carbonate. So when this ordinary light is passed through Nicol prism, then what happens? That the light, its all planes get cut off and it can vibrate only in one plane. And this light, this is known as plane polarized light. Okay, this is called plane polarized light. This is Nicol prism, this is ordinary light. What is plane polarized light? Light which can vibrate only in one plane. How do we obtain this? By passing the ordinary light through Nicol prism. What's the difference between this light and ordinary light? Ordinary light can vibrate in all planes. Nicol prism, it is made up of calcite. Now any compound, when it is placed in the path of plane polarized light, then if it remains as such, there is no rotation at all, there is no angle of rotation, compound is said to be optically inactive. Okay, compound is said to be optically inactive. But if the compound rotates the path of plane polarized light towards right side in clockwise direction, then it is known as dextrorotatory, which is designated as plus D. Plus means counterclockwise, towards right side, that is clockwise direction, and D stands for dextrorotation. And if it is counterclockwise, anti-clockwise, then it is designated as minus L. Minus means counterclockwise, anti-clockwise, and L stands for levorotation. So it is levorotatory. Okay, and if 50% dextro and 50% LIVO, then plus minus DL, and in this case the rotation gets cancelled and such type of compounds will be optically inactive. Okay, this will be optically inactive. Now this is just a basic of optical isomerism, my dear students. So what are optical isomers? Compounds having same molecular formula, same structural formula, but if they are rotated in a different direction, one is dextro, another is levo, this is called optical isomerism. And these optical isomers, they are non-superimposable on its mirror image, so they are also known as enantiomers. So what are enantiomers? They are non-superimposable on its mirror image. They should not have the plane of symmetry and they are known as enantiomers. Phenomenon is enantiomerism. So for enantiomerism, compound must be chiral. In organic we have studied, that means they should be attached with different groups or atoms. At the same time, they should not have elements of symmetry. Elements of symmetry means they should not have plane of symmetry, they should not have axis of symmetry, and so on. Okay, so let's see the examples. And so far as optical isomerism is concerned, it is found only when the ligands are bidentate in nature. So suppose Cr, OX whole thrice. Okay, OX is oxalate. So suppose Cr, in this case if you take mirror image of this, what is going to happen? This oxalate, it will come towards this side, and so since they are mirror images, non-superimposable mirror images of each other, so they are enantiomers, non-superimposable mirror images. Now I am writing one more example. Suppose CO, Cl2, and if you take mirror image of this compound, then it would be like this. So they are called enantiomers. And in this case, you can see that here also the coordination number is 6 because 2 ethylene diamine, 2 into 2, 4 and 2 chloride ions. So it is total 6 ligands. And this is cis isomer definitely, my dear students. Why? Because both the chlorine, they lie on the same side and ethane 1,2-diamine also on the same side. And if we take trans isomers of this, then what is going to happen? Let's see that also. Okay, so if this chlorine, one above the plane, one below the plane, definitely this is trans isomerism because both lying on the opposite side, and chlorine also one above the plane, another below the plane. So if you take mirror image of this compound, what is going to happen? Are we going to have the same or exact mirror image or not? That means they are superimposable mirror images, and such compounds are said to be optically inactive. And why it is optically inactive? Because it has got a plane of symmetry. It can be divided into two equal halves so that one half is the mirror image of other. So therefore, for a compound to have optical activity or optical isomerism or enantiomerism, they should not possess a plane of symmetry. So this is a very, very important example, my dear students, that if it is trans, it is going to have same or exact, or it can be superimposed easily. Okay. So today we have completed our isomerism, structural and stereo both. As I said, in structural we have discussed ionization, then linkage, coordination and hydration or solvation. In stereoisomerism, we have to discuss about coordination number 4 and coordination number 6. 2, 3, sp3 tetrahedral, it is not possible. It is possible in coordination number 4 with square planar geometry. And whenever all the ligands are of same type, remember this type of isomerism is not going to happen, especially cis trans. So even in octahedral complexes also, if it is ML6, if all the 6 ligands are of same type, no geometrical, no cis trans isomerism would be possible. And cis trans in coordination number 6, then MA3B3 facial and meridional is also very important. In exercise also one question is based on that. And optical isomerism, for that ligands must be bidentate in nature. And whenever trans is there, trans mostly, generally is going to be optically inactive. So we have completed isomerism. In our next class, in our next video and lecture, we are going to start with bonding in complexes. Okay, so all of you go through it thoroughly, go through the questions also in text as well as exercise, and in our next class, so that we can start with bonding in coordination compounds. Till then, goodbye. Thank you very much.